Hi guys, thanks for checking the video out. Steve Buzza here, and today's video is about two things. So I've tried the new Titleist driver, the TS3 and the TS2, and I tried it up against my Rogue. I've just hit some shots, and I will explain in a second why. I will show you the data, but the data isn't as important as it should be. But today, like I say, I'm just going to give you an overview of what I thought. So I started off just using my gamer, so I'm using a Rogue Sub-Zero. I've been hitting it good. I've been really happy. I've altered the loft a little bit to try and get a bit more launch. So I hit some pretty good shots. I've been hitting an odd one out to the right with it, but that's more me than it is with the club. So I hit them just so I had a baseline. I then went into the TS2, and at first looks, obviously the big difference between the previous Titleist is they've changed the colour, so it's they've gone back to black. I don't really mind either way. You know, if I was them, like when they did the grey, I would have done a matte finish, or I would have done a matte finish now. I think that always makes a bigger difference rather than just changing the colour. You know, I like it in black, but like I say, if I had the previous one in grey, I wouldn't be changing for that reason. But it's the two, it's a little bit bubbly, certainly compared to this one and some of the other drivers on the market. So when it sits down there, it's a bit of a bubbly shape. But I hit some shots, and I was pretty happy with it. The dispersion was very good, and it felt good in my hands, sat good at the ball. So I did like the TS2. You know, you can tell in my voice I wasn't like blown away with it, but I liked it. And then I tried this one, the TS3, and it's a far sleeker look, and it's a bit more square, and I really like that in a driver, because when you put it down you really feel like it's A-framing the ball, and it's really getting your alignment on. Is it or isn't it? I don't know, but sometimes if it feels that way, it gives you confidence you're going to hit it better. So the TS3 I really liked. The other thing I liked about the TS3, and certainly against hitting this one, it had, and comment below if you've already tried this driver, it had a, I'm not sure pingier is the word, but it had a higher pitch sound, which you usually associate with the ball going further. And a lot of manufacturers try and put that in like their game improving club to like give you the feeling that you're hitting it maybe further than you are. But I was getting that from the TS3. So I really like that combination. Again, felt great off the face, and the dispersion was good. So I like this one, and this is going to be a really popular driver, especially if you're somebody that is really a Titleist player. And I think Titleist do have that brand. If you've got somebody that plays their product, they do tend to stick in it. If you're that person, you're going to really like this club. So let's get to the data, and you'll see I haven't got my laptop on me because there was an issue, and the issue wasn't to do with the TS2, it wasn't to do with the TS3, it was all to do with my Rogue Sub-Zero. My smash factor was just so poor on the day. I'm getting a strike that's a bit high on the toe, and it's just not transferring the energy. So I'm seeing a lot on social media about how these clubs are putting loads of distance on players that are switching into it, and I think this is players that are switching from the previous Titleist model, you know, the D2 or the D3, into this. I couldn't really tell you if that was happening, because I just wasn't hitting the ball as far as I should be. I'll pull the numbers up here. The TS3 did actually beat my gamer. The TS2 also beat it, but like you'll see, the numbers are so far down to where they should be. All the strikes they're very consistent. So yeah, I've got the consistency, but I was a little toe bound, and I'll do another video of why being toe bound at the minute for me is really lacking energy transfer. But because I'm a gentleman and I'm a man of the people, I'm gonna spread the lie that I was hitting it out the toe to try and show the stability of all three clubs, and they all passed basically. And with a high toe strike, it does still feel good, and like I say, the club felt stable, it felt good. You know, there was a lot of good things happening with these two. Like I said, I much preferred the TS3 over the TS2. The Rogue is my gamer, but all three were experiencing the same problem, so that's got to go down to me today, unfortunately. Kind of ruined the review a little bit, and I was actually very annoyed at the time. But yeah, so that's what I was finding. Do I have any negatives to say? This is my personal preference, and I say this about every Titleist product since they've changed the logo on the top of the club. You know, I like to have something there to help frame the ball, but I used to like the old DCI logo. I preferred that one. If I could put that one on there instead of this one, I would, but again, how to make yourself sound like a golfer. And then the other one is, because it's black on black, I do feel like these clubs look like they've got a little less loft compared to some other things or other products on the market. For a better player, you might like that because it will make you feel like you're going to send the ball forwards. But I did feel like, although, especially the TS3, although it was framed fantastically, it did look like it had a little less loft compared to the Sub-Zero that I am gaming. And you got to remember the Sub-Zero's got a little more on the top line as well. So again, with all the combinations, that was the only thing that I was feeling. So get some comments down below, especially if you're somebody that has already tried this, or you're somebody in Titleist products, so you've already got a D2 or a D3 and you're thinking of switching. You know, I'd love to hear what you've got to say, and get some comments down what you would like me to do next. And like I say, I have to apologize, I wasn't overly happy with the numbers I created, and it was down to me and my strike. You know, I was down considerably just to where I was the previous week. So would you like all three against my gamer, or would you like a Titleist new versus Titleist old, and actually see if there's massive difference between their old product compared to their new one? Thanks for watching, hope to catch you soon.